Alright, so I'm going to do another video on one of the books of the Pythagorean Illuminati. And, I think like each one of these videos, even though like I'm doing them all together, because I've done like 25 videos of like reading from the books now. And like each one of them I'm like individually making so you could like fall upon it and not have to have seen like the other videos before it. And because that's what enlightenment should be all about, is you should just like hear it and you should be able to know the truth like when you hear it. So and I just been going through the different books. Started out with the Illuminati, the book The Illuminati, which explains the history of the Illuminati, the Enlightened Ones. The Pythagorean Illuminati are what they're called. The term Illuminati definitely is still, most people know it as a bad term that refers to the elite, the bad, the actually the opposite of what they actually are. So like like anyone that wants to use the proper terminology for like the dark ones, they should definitely not use the term for the enlightened ones. Because all of it, like enlightened ones, Illuminati is like definitely it's Latin, like from that time around it means enlightened. Not an darkened one. One of the elite people of the world that are responsible for all the criminal activity, all the enslavement, all the control of the world, the old world order. That is not who the Illuminati are. Like, it is actually the greatest story that has never been told. But I am telling that story because I am one of them. So the real story is that the Illuminati are the heroes. You know what I'm saying? They are the ones that have always fought against the elite. The brilliant geniuses, like of all time, that have been fighting against the elite to basically have another paradigm accepted. The paradigm that actually acknowledges the world of mind, which actually solves the Cartesian dualism, which is the which science only acknowledges the world of matter, what they can observe, what they can see, but there is obviously more going on than meets the eye. And the Illuminati are the ones that have explained that, through mathematics. And because mathematics, it's like, at first it's like when you go upon mathematics, like I didn't like math when I was a kid, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't like math, and that's like the thing. Like, there are a few people but math is like the way of explaining everything, because there's a problem and then there's a solution, there's an answer to it. So that is like the same thing that applies to the universe, because it's actually made of mathematics. So, there's a problem and a solution, and we are obviously evolving towards that solution. And this is definitely all illumination. That is the secret religion of the Illuminati. And there are other people out on the internet, because the internet is like a place of it's hyperspace. It's a place where people go, but there are people out there like that are creating cults off of the information of the Pythagorean Illuminati. And one of those people his name is Morg, and he has this site called Morg Official, where it is actually like he's getting out, like that's actually like if he wasn't copying all of the Illuminati, all the Pythagorean Illuminati's teachings, because the Illuminati actually wrote 3 books about him and what he's doing, and he actually did start a cult. He calls it the Neogenians. He's using the Pythagorean Illuminati teachings, writing these books and stuff, not giving credit to the Pythagorean Illuminati, and calling it like the Neogenians, and creating this cult, like a religion, like Scientology, all that stuff. He's creating like a new one. And even the Illuminati said, if you want to get rich, start a religion, and that's what all these cult members have done to make money. And he's doing that. He's making money right now off of the information that he's given out. But like the information that he's talking about is legit. He's telling the truth, but he's not giving the credit to the Pythagorean Illuminati. And you can check out the books like Take Him to the Morgue by the Pythagorean Illuminati, talking about Morg and who he is, what he's doing. Delete Hyperionism, because and there's a second one in that too. So yeah, the Pythagorean Illuminati definitely know what's going on, because they obviously know the answers to existence, the nature of reality, the meaning of life, like it is explained in all these books. And that's why I'm my life, like I did discover the secret religion of illumination, and I was an ex-Christian, and then once I broke out of Christianity, I started studying everything, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, just all the different mystery religions, everything. I just, like, after I broke away from Christianity and into my enlightenment, I just started studying everything. And that's what actually led me to the Illuminati and illumination. So this book that I'm reading from, I'm going to start a new one, because I'm going to go back into each book and read and talk about everything I read from an illuminatist perspective, because I've had like 8 years now of being like in the Illuminati, and I am able to read from these books and then like explain from my understanding, like so that's like that's double the understanding for anyone that is hearing this, anyone that's hearing the truth, because illumination is like the true religion, and this is it's mathematically explained, and actually that's what I wanted to start doing, is switching into talking about mathematics, because even for me that was a hard thing to do, but like the Illuminati are so good at explaining everything that they actually make understanding mathematics they make it really They make you want to understand. So this is The God Equation by Mike Hockney. And Mike Hockney is, he's one of the authors of, actually I think like 80 books or something like that, something like that, like 60 books, 50 books. Actually, no, I wouldn't say 80, but it's Mike Hockney wrote he probably wrote like 32 books, in the Illuminati's program and project to get out their work, to this secret society's project to get their work out to the masses, which is what the Armageddon conspiracy was all about, because they wrote 270 books, and then they got banned by Amazon. They got put on the list of prohibited books by the Vatican, and silenced. Like the Illuminati got silenced. Even that is funny because this guy Morg, he did a video that actually explains about is God the devil, and he is explaining from Gnostic understandings, which that is the truth, is God is the devil, because that's what the Gnostics believe, and the whole Bible is based on Abraham hearing a voice in his head telling him to slit his son's throat, and then him willingly obeying to do it. So that's what Christianity, Islam, and Judaism is all based on, called Abrahamism. But and I'm going off on tangents, but I'm just connecting everything. But this yeah, when I get too far off, I forget what I was even talking about. But everything I'm talking about is definitely relevant and can be looked into by looking into the Pythagorean Illuminati's works, which I was talking about. Their project wrote 270 books in the Armageddon conspiracy, and then they came out on Patreon, where they are continually writing articles about four different main things every single week that are just so the truth that you cannot refute it. And I've explained in those videos before what they are. Hollywood Patient Zero is all about Rome in the nowadays, and how it's the same thing, and discovering where Patient Zero is for Hollywood, where it stemmed from, which is Rome. So and then it explains the government in Rome, and I've gone in over all these videos in the book The Illuminati, and it relates it to this day, even to the point to where Trump is an American Caesar, because the elites want him fucking dead, and that's why he almost got assassinated. So because he is a tribune of the people. He is a rich plutocratic oligarch, that actually has gained the backing of the people and is a threat to the elite's power. So definitely Trump 2024, because I'm not going to get too far into what the other side is doing, like Kamala Harris and stuff, but we are lying on a precipice of either we're going to have a republic or an empire. So that's where that's what we got to decide. And the Jedi are the ones that are definitely fighting for the republic. So this is from the God equation. Quotations. Physical laws should have mathematical beauty. So that Paul Dirac. And it's saying that like what you see and what's in physical laws, like the laws of physical reality, should have mathematical beauty. Like we should be able to be explained mathematically. And part of mathematics is like, yes, science is actually atheist and agnostic, and they actually don't fully explain the nature of reality, so but they think that they do, and the reason why they don't is because they do not acknowledge the world of mind, which is part of reality, like the unseen, dimensionless, reality of mind and soul, and like that actually is beyond this space-time continuum, because we are projecting matter into a space-time continuum collectively. Is what like the God secret is. So whatever may be the truth about the universe, it is bound to be astonishing. Bertrand Russell. And that quote right there is because it's like, what is the truth about the universe? The Illuminati are revealing it as mathematics, like ontological mathematics. There's a problem and solution. It is a self-evolving organism that is figuring itself out and getting back to the omega point, which is the God equation, which is what it comes from, because in an eternal recurrence, there's a creation and a destruction phase, and that obviously, with understanding the omega point, like we're getting back to God, like we fell from God and now we're getting back to God. I believe like this is the most pivotal point of all time, in time, that signifies that we are getting back to God, like through the great awakening, through people realizing that we're divine and we're not going to take this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like this reality, it's time for a different reality, and we actually can change it. And that's actually what the elite know. And so there are people like the Illuminati and other freedom fighters out there, other truth seekers, other people that are doing what they can against an oppressive government, oppressive consciousness that's been created, to get out the truth, to empower the people through wisdom and truth, which sapientia et veritas means wisdom and truth in Latin. And that's another way that the Illuminati are getting out their work, is through a YouTube channel called Sapientia et Veritas. and they just like have made like 100 different videos. Like they use AI voices to get their information out. It would be like, and so people are like, oh, it's AI, it's an AI religion. But I am actually in contact with one of the authors, and they are definitely not AI. Like it's actually part of their project was to, because they're not going to use their voices, so they are getting out the information through making videos with like AI voices reading, but the videos provide visual understanding through the explanation of Illumination through that YouTube channel, you know, and they actually were able to, smart enough not to get banned. So the connection between mathematics and reality is a miracle, but it works. Professor Frank Wilczek. And that is something to really take into consideration, because it's talking about the connections of mathematics and reality is a miracle, but it works. That's brilliant, because reality works. Like what we're experiencing it is perfect for us to breathe air, experience physical things, like in a space-time continuum of matter. Like it is a miracle, but it is like created by our mind, which is a mathematical monad, which is a unit of infinite potential. Each mind is a unit of infinite potential. That's powerful. And God actually, the whole God equation actually equivalates out into zero entropy, which you know, means that there is no energy lost. It just keeps going. So, you know, you gotta get like connected to that energy, consciousness. Everything is gonna keep going. And that this is the never-ending story of internal recurrence, because even the Illuminati philosophically bring up like the eternal recurrence, which Nietzsche was talking about. They wrote a book called Nietzsche and Groundhog Day, talking about Groundhog Day, and it's like would you that's what the ultimate reality is you experiencing the reality where you would want everything to happen over and over again, as opposed to not wanting everything to happen over and over again. And you have to get to that level in your life. So that's the whole understanding of eternal recurrence, and you know, which incorporates reincarnation in it. It's actually unreasonable how well mathematics works. Why should the world behave according to mathematical laws? Professor Anton Zeilinger. Just talking about how well mathematics works. And he said, why should the world behave according to mathematical laws? Okay, he's asking a question. He's asking that question. It's because it works. That's why. Everything works. There's existence. There's consciousness. You know, everything's worked. So it definitely should behave to mathematical laws. It's not only that it becomes easier to describe with mathematics as you go deeper and deeper into reality. Mathematics becomes the only way to describe reality. Professor Leonard Susskind. And I'm understanding that is more true the more and more I'm getting into the Pythagorean Illuminati's work. Euler's equation reaches down into the very depths of existence. Keith Delvin. And that's talking about like Euler, this equation I don't know what his full name was, but he was a mathematician. And actually what I just found out was he was like proven, like he had to go into the church and stuff and then prove the existence of God. And then he did, like, the Illuminati just made a video about this, about how this happened. And then he did prove the existence of God to the church. And through this equation. Alright, so what I got? 27 minutes. Alright. This is the incredible story of how mathematics, most beautiful, elegant, economic, and powerful equation, controls the entire universe. If there were such a thing as a creator, he would be a mathematician, and the God equation would be the equation he invoked to make the work. He would in fact have no choice, because this is the only equation that can do the job. When, according to the Bible, God declared, "Let there be light," all he was doing was unleashing the God equation in all of its transcendent, soulful glory. The God equation is also the soul equation. As above, so below. The universe is the world's soul, the collection of all souls, and the individual soul is the microcosm of that glittering, living macrocosm. The individual soul and the collective soul are united mathematically via a single divine equation. One equation to rule them all. One equation to find them. One equation to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. And that is Euler's formula. And it is definitely explains the whole theory of everything. That's why it's the God equation. And I'm still learning about Euler's formula and like how it mathematically describes basically how everything is. It's funny that book is going on, that bite, but I'm just gonna, okay, so I'm gonna read the rest of this. In the beginning, God, the cosmic mathematical mind, gazed upon an infinite collection of dimensionless points, monads, each modeled by the number 0. An infinity of zeros is nothing. God did indeed make the world out of nothing, but a very special type of nothing. Each monad contains infinite energy, but this energy is perfectly balanced between negative and positive energy, so that everything cancels perfectly to 0. Initially, all monads were perfectly symmetrical, indistinguishable from each other. To make anything happen, symmetry must be broken and individuation must take place, i.e., things have to become unique. The first act of God was to break symmetry and apply an exclusion principle to all monads, which amounted to giving each monad a fingerprint, a unique set of mathematical coordinates. An infinite collection of mathematical points with unique coordinates is nothing other than a perfect Cartesian arena, except this is a cosmological and ontological rather than an abstract set of Cartesian axes drawn on a piece of paper in a school book exercise. God looked upon the Cartesian grid, extending infinitely in all directions, and saw that it was good. He now had the ideal mathematical framework in which to work. He allowed the monads to release the energy locked inside them, and instantaneously it flooded out into the Cartesian arena, into the creation event known as the Big Bang. Every single point in infinite space exploded. The Big Bang wasn't about the explosion of one point. It was about the explosion of all points. Oh. Yet the energy didn't flood out in any old way. All of it obeyed a single cosmic law, the God equation. And thus the universe of our experience was mathematically brought into being. Simple, really. By the end of this book, we hope to convince you that this is exactly what happened, although there was no creator involved in the process, or rather, mathematics itself was the creator. Mathematics is eternal, perfect, necessary, immutable, infallible, necessary, analytic, complete, and platonic. It has all the qualities you would expect of God, but it does not expect anyone to get on their knees to worship it. And unlike the God of the Jews, Christians, and Muslims, it does not order fathers to make human sacrifices of their own children to show how loyal and obedient they are. The sun is definitely the sun is coming in, but I'm finishing this video. Humanity made a catastrophic mistake, born of irrationality and ignorance, when it failed to recognize mathematics as the true creator and instead invented an anthropomorphic supernatural exaggeration of a narcissistic human being as the creator. The highest truth of all, understood by only a tiny number of people, is that mathematics itself is the source of life. Mathematics is alive. We are living beings precisely because our soul is one of the dimensionless mathematical monads that comprise existence. We are all mortal and indestructible. We have infinite energy that can never run down. We are perpetual motion machines, and we all have the capacity to be mathematically perfect, to become gods. Oh, bam. Bam right there. So, leaving it off there, it just, the Illuminati are explaining how reality is made of mathematics and how we are all individual minds, monads, creating a collective experience, like through an existence that exists at outside of space and time and projects into this space and time through matter, through inhabiting a body and creating reality through the body. So that knowledge is what leads to freedom. And if you want to escape, you gotta create. All right, so till next time.